Good afternoon, everyone. Okay, so happy to be here. And thank you for the introduction, Mary. So Agentic AI is something that you are hearing nowadays, right? A lot of LinkedIn posts around Agentic AI, right? So this is the future. Why it is the future? Because it saves time, it reduces cost, brings efficiency, and makes everyone 10x. If not 10x, at least 2x or 5x. That means whatever you are doing, whatever you are liking, you're doing it 2x, 3x. If you are a developer, let's take, you're writing a code, you don't know how to write the code in a most efficient way. Now you can take help from Agentics. You can take help from Gen AI tools, right? So you are thinking of a logic, let's take, to build something. You are stuck because you're not able to think. Ask questions. You get a boilerplate code and then modify on top of it. So the agentic is something like it will change and transform almost all industries. Quickly, it is going to impact the IT and software industry. You are not going to have 20 people, 30 people in a team anymore. You are going to have only 2 or 3 people that are doing the job of 20 people. And that's going to change. Now clients have already started saying to the big IT companies, earlier you used to do this work in 6 months time. Now you have ChatGPT. You can do it within a week or so. Why are you asking for so much time? And also, why are you charging this much for this particular project? So today morning, one of the clients asking, can you give me a face recognition API? I said, okay, fine. So what's the budget? The budget is something you can't imagine. The client is asking 25K, not USD, only 1,000 in INR. 25,000 INR face recognition API, and it should not be using any cloud components. It should be installed on premise. Is it possible? Because there is somebody who is giving them in 20K. So huge competition is there in this space because there are freelancers who are using ChatGPT and they are offering these services and these components at a much, much lesser price. How will an IT company compete with the freelancers? So you as a freelancer, if you have the skill set and right tools, you can develop these things and sell it in the market. There are 20, 30 different websites where you can get those kind of freelancing work as well. So what is changing? The 3 things. The agentic world is changing because of 3 things. The first one is autonomy. That means giving the autonomous power, the independent computing and independent decision-making power to the agents. When I say agents, it's just a workflow. What is in a workflow? Workflow is getting something done from end to end. That can be using if-else conditions, bringing a model, talking to ChatGPT or any kind of LLMs, or it can be simple like doing some kind of maybe logic-based calculations. If you can complete the whole workflow, I can take the human beings out from the entire process. If you can automate the whole flow, right? That's called autonomy. The next one is goal-directedness, because each and every agent is designed to perform specific tasks. If you have one agent who can go to news portals, do a search on top news corresponding to certain context. Context is set by tickers, company profile, descriptions, name of the company, profile of the clients, etc. These are your context. So you provide the context, you provide the target, go to this portal, do a search. Bring me something that I don't know. Now here comes the role of LLMs. The LLMs will take this context, go to the target portal, performs a search, finds what you have given, and considers that this is something you know. And what is not known, bring it. Right? So this kind of communication you can do. And of course, this is driven by the goal-directedness approach. And third one is the self-modifications. What is self-modification? There are multiple news portals. If one portal is not accessible, so you're using REST API to connect to various portals. If one particular portal is not accessible, you have to go to the next one. Or do a generic search in Google search, Bing search, etc. Try to figure out what is the next best portal where I can get those things. So self-modification means changing the course of action as it performs the action, as the agent performs certain actions. And do you think it's something new? No. It was there long back, 1950s, if you look at the early foundations of agentic AI. And this work was done by John McAfee and Marvin Minsky and Alan Turing. This is something very interesting I found yesterday from my research. And so taking the research outcomes from 1950s and developing on top of it, what we are seeing, the autonomous agents, the decision-making agents, the goal-directedness agents, or self-correcting agents. This is something that we are seeing as an outcome. What are the typical use cases? Now, this is important when you are starting your journey as MTech in AI or pursuing a course in AI. It's very important to look at the use cases. Keep these use cases in mind when you are starting from the day one, right? And you should not be thinking about capstone projects after 1 year. So capstone projects should be, you should be thinking from day one itself, okay? Why? Because you keep thinking in those directions. Our mind is designed in such a way that if you keep thinking about something, a particular domain, you'll get a lot of ideas. And those ideas will get consolidated over a period of time. Maybe that is 2 months, 3 months, 4 months. You'll keep thinking on those lines. When you read something, it will start accumulating knowledge in that direction itself. Choose a particular domain. If you like healthcare, banking, financial services, think about a particular domain. Select your own domain, not like looking at opportunities, not like looking at what values this will bring to me or for my career in the long run. Think about what you can solve in this particular industry, right? So let's take one example of this radiology diagnosis. What is the doctors to people to doctor ratio in India? Is it optimal? No. Do we have efficient radiologists in India? No, we don't have. What percentage of errors the existing doctors are making? Do we know that? No. So can an AI agent be created just by looking at the radiology report? It can do a first level of scanning to identify any kind of anomalies. Then take a second attempt or second opinion from any other doctors or like experts. The first thing is, can an AI agent do this job? The answer is yes. Now, someone can think, okay, it's already solved. No, it is not solved. The initial results are very promising and it is satisfactory, and you'll be feeling happy. Okay, now this can be done. But is it done? No. Any hospital, they have done it from end to end? No. That gives you opportunities, right? Now, OCR, it's a very common thing. Optical character recognition. The OCR processes and the tools are there, APIs are there. What is that API that can give you 80% accuracy today? Is there any API that can give you 80% accuracy? The answer is no. 50%, 60% it is working. Not 100%, not 90%, not even 80%. That gives you scope. What is there today, how to build on top of it, and how to take it to the next level. This provides ample opportunities for people who are pursuing an AI career. Either you start from scratch, build something new, or develop something that is existing today, and it is not working as per expectations. That gives massive opportunities. So OCR, or it is automated radiology diagnosis or reading reports, etc. Nothing is 100%, not even 90%. So we have heard, or maybe you can see on LinkedIn, that many people they are saying that you have invoices, there is an API, you just upload, you will get the extracted data, right? It's solved. Fine, okay. It does the extraction, that's right. But the formatting is lost. The readability is lost. So you as a human being, from the extracted text, you cannot understand anything. So what's the point? If I can't understand, how do I take decisions based on the extracted data? Right? So my work is not complete here. Extraction is done 100%. Formatting is lost. So my interpretation is lost. Now there is scope. So here comes the role of AI to improve it further, organize it, retain the formatting. If you can create an API that will retain the formatting while doing extraction and regenerate the same components, same document once again, then that's the real AI, which is solving a problem, right? So like that, there are different use cases, and we need to think about those use cases from day one. Keep reading newspapers, where you can find related news. You can find research papers on archive.org or Caltech websites. There is IEEE website also. There are multiple portals we have access to here in REVA. The credentials will be given to you. Read as much as you can. Read those research papers. So these are like futuristic, thought-provoking research papers, which will give you a lot of ideas what you can implement in a real-life scenario corresponding to that particular use case. Now, in the agentic ecosystem, if you look at, these are the major players and platforms and tools that are available today. And again, nothing is 100% perfect here. That gives ample opportunities for you to keep doing practice, do R&D, think about improvements in those tools as well. So if you look at starting with OpenAI, OpenAI has given this Swarm. Swarm is this one. So Swarm is from OpenAI. LangChain is from LangGraph. LangGraph and LangChain both are from Meta. Crew.ai, it's a separate independent group. Semantic Kernel and AutoGen is from Microsoft. Then you have Pydantic, Llama Index. Llama Index is from Meta again. AutoGPT from Microsoft once again. So these are most of the, you can see Langflow also. LangGraph and Langflow both are related to a certain extent. So these are modern agentic workflow, or I would call it as orchestration tools. These orchestration tools will help you in performing automation. And now everyone is exploring this area. Why it is? Because as I said, there are three reasons. Number one, they want to reduce headcount. Number two, they want to reduce cost, manpower cost, and they want to speed up the development. If you increase the speed of development, you will stay ahead of the curve in comparison to your competition. There are a lot of IT companies, small, medium, large, a lot of IT companies. The sooner you can deliver the product, the sooner you can deliver the solution to clients, you will get more work. Even if they have shops, they will be like just waiting for the opportunities, right? So the idea here is, as the development is happening and a lot of APIs they're also releasing a lot of APIs. If I just talk about the Screw.ai, what they have done is they have created APIs for PDF search, website search, Word document search, text file search, log file search. These are APIs. What is the search string that you want to search? You just have to give the address. This is the folder where all the PDFs are residing. This is my search string. You go and search. You just give this command to Prove.ai. It will perform the search, retrieve the answer, not the PDF. So when you are directly getting the answer instead of the documents, it's super easy, right? So that is why these things are very important. And as you go through this course, towards the end, you will find these tools are getting refined and improved also. So what are the stages to build those autonomous systems? The first one is, these are some of the areas you can see where the AI and autonomous agents are being deployed right now. One is the self-driving cars. Second one is building those intelligent robots. By the way, the RPA companies, the robotic process companies, they are very closer to building agentic AI because their workflow is clear. They have built those workflows, at least in documents, over the years. The tooling is something that they have to solve it quickly. So if they solve the tooling part of it, they can stay ahead of the curve. Their business flow is very clear and it's well documented. Step one, this, step two, this, step three, this, it is clear. The only thing that is missing for robotic companies is that they have done hard-coded programming. If this, then this. That thing should be like removed from the entire process. You have to bring in the autonomous decision-making Python scripts there. You understand this? Okay, you do this like that. So if they can adopt this, the problem for them is they don't have experts. Because the robotic companies, they have a different set of expertise. They don't have Python expertise. They don't have algorithmic expertise. So now a new trend will happen. These robotic companies, they are going to hire more Python developers because they want to bring this intelligent layer to the robotic process automation so that they can build those agentic AI very quick. That is something going to happen very soon. Now, apart from that, the software development will be now quicker, faster, more optimized. So if you're writing a script for 200 lines and you don't know how to optimize it, ask ChatGPT, it will give you 30 lines. So optimization is done. Now that task used to take 3 weeks, 4 weeks for different companies. Now you are doing in 30 seconds, right? So the software development effort will be now reduced and more softwares, more deliverables you are going to generate out of this agentic frameworks. Apart from that, the issues with agentic AI, I would like to highlight 2-3 things here. Number one is privacy and data protection. Why it is important? Because with the hope of performing something quicker, faster, we upload our data, personal data, image, video, audio, etc. We upload these things. Where it is going? Is it going somebody else's server? That we need to know. Without knowing if we are uploading, suppose you want to create the AI avatar of you and you are uploading a photo, right? And you are seeing the photograph nice, you like it. But where is the photograph? Did they delete it after creating it? Are they doing something else with it? We don't know. So trust is very important. And that's why privacy and data protection is also important. Any kind of open source models, that's still fine. The data is not going out of your system. But any APIs or secret keys that you are using to get some tasks done, you have to be very sure where this data is going. So you have to do a masking or redaction of personal information before sending this data out. Mostly, you have to look at the user guide. For example, OpenAI. You are using OpenAI's secret key and credentials. You are sending some documents. Let's take that's a confidential document. What do they do after generating the output? Do they delete it? They store it somewhere else? They archive it? Or they need permission from you to delete it? So you have to read those terms and conditions. So do not use any open source tools without reading the terms and conditions. And if you don't understand the terms and conditions because it's too lengthy, complicated, legal language, use ChatGPT. Download the document, give your persona. I'm a student, I'm learning AI. This is the tool I'm using. This is the terms and conditions. Is there something I have to worry about? Use the document and the ChatGPT will highlight that these are 2-3 points or clauses that could be concerning. Right? So if you think something is concerning, then don't use it. If you like, okay, these concerns are fine, go ahead and use it. Just be careful about the AI tools because the fraudsters, they can use any dummy link and they can ask you to upload photographs, financial statements, loan documents, or Aadhaar card, PAN card, etc. And they can create the morphed characters like the, you can say, Frankenstein identity. This is called Frankenstein identity. That means creating artificial personas out of fake data. Fake means your first name, your last name, my Aadhaar card number, somebody else's PAN card number. That creates a persona. So that's called Frankenstein identity, right? So based on this, they create the real identities. And when you match with the database, you will match with PAN card, right? So it's a valid PAN card. It's not wrong. But is it the same person's PAN card whose Aadhaar card also you have? No, it's different. So that is why data privacy considerations are very important. And transparency and explainability is also important, the second important part. Because when you are generating the output, you have to be very sure what are the sources from where this the output or the paragraphs are coming up. So explainability means you have to explain the model decisions. You have to explain the outcomes of LLMs, the large language models. Algorithmic bias and fairness, this is not at agentic level, but I will call it as a model level. So when you're building some models to take autonomous decisions, then algorithmic bias, data bias, or training bias, That is something that you have to take care of. When building this autonomous decision-making agents, obviously accountability is there. And because you are generating the output or predictions for a particular client, if it's not working, then who is going to take that ownership? You are saying your sales is going to be up next 5 days by 20%. That's not happening. Next week, the client comes back and says, this is what you told me, but this is not happening. So who is going to take the ownership? It's you, because you developed the model. You cannot just say that, okay, while building the model, I got 90% accuracy, and that's why I've given to the client. Now I don't know. It's your ownership. So if you are not 100% confident about generating the output, or you are not taking the accountability for the output, don't work on this. Give it to someone else. Or ask your managers, kindly help me. I'm not sure about this. Okay. So ethical considerations, privacy, transparency, biasness, and accountability. These considerations we have to keep in mind while working on agentic frameworks in AI. Now looking at the tasks, where the agentic task or agentic AI can perform better. Analytical processes, where the steps are quite logical. Step 1, you do this. Step 2, you do this. If you find this, then do this. If your business processes or your tasks are very clear and logical, then agentic is the place. You should adapt to agentic to automate the processes. If there is some degree of emotional intelligence that would be required, that is the decision making involves some kind of emotional things, it's not strictly data driven, then there's a problem because human biasness enters there. It's not strictly just by looking at the data. Creativity, yes, agentic AI you can introduce, but creativity also has a different challenge. You ask the agent, I think someone told me from my previous class, you ask ChatGPT to generate an image which shows morning 10 o'clock and 10 minutes, 10:10. None of the GenAI tools can generate a clock image with a time. That I figured it out. You try this out. Anytime, 9:15, 9:30, 10:15, whatever time you ask ChatGPT to generate a clock that shows a time 9:15. It fails. That means creativity is something these tools and these large language models have not mastered yet. It will take some more time. So you can do this experiment, figure out this clock image. Okay. Adaptability, yes, we are very, very fast in adapting newer frameworks. That's okay. And decision-making speed, it helps. The agentic AI and automation that is coming up, this is definitely help in speed decision-making.
I know one. Yes, the analytical process, right? Are you saying whatever those basic analysis as a human being they are doing can be done with agentic AI?
Yes. So, like for example, I look at a particular page, I make some interpretations. I can hand over that task to agent. What you see, what you interpret, give me the interpretation. I don't want to read the whole page. You tell me what is the takeaway for me.
Like similar, we have regular industry meeting where now I am using Copilot. I'm saying, give me the insights, action items, everything. So maybe similar.
Correct.
I can give a Excel which has different data attributes, and I can ask Copilot or any of the agentic AI to give me the insights.
Right, right. So for example,
so those kind of job is going to be
impacted, definitely. So let's take the stock prices. As a trader, if you give me the stock price of a particular stock for last 90 days, so what do you observe? What are the peaks? What are the low points, averages, etc.? And if there is any trend, seasonality, etc., you want to understand. As a statistician, also I have to spend 2-3 hours just to do various mapping, graph creation, etc., to understand what are those trends and etc. Now I can directly give it to Pro.ai to give insights. Give me insights from this stock trend. Within 2 seconds, it generates trends, what you should look at, how frequently this trend is appearing, what is the cyclicity of it, increasing trend, decreasing trend, uptick, downtick, it gives you everything. Within 3 seconds, it gives you.
So it is like saving, like suppose I am spending at least 1 hour. So 5 into 4, so that it is saving, cost saving per hour.
Cost saving, yes, definitely. Okay. Now looking at the future of work, this part is scary, yes, because it is going to displace a lot of jobs, this agentic AI. The problem today is threefold. One, we do not have experts to create agentic AI. That's number one. 80% of the business processes are not streamlined because people don't know how businesses really work on the ground. If you ask the VP or senior manager or director of a company, how does your, like, let's take a lead scoring process. You get leads, you have to make calls to make customers. How does this lead scoring process work? You have 20 people working on only lead scoring team. How does this process work? No, I have to check with the team because they don't have a ready-made workflow. This is how you get the leads. This is how you do a lead nurturing. These are the 5 stages of lead nurturing. That process is missing completely. So 80% of the businesses, they don't have a proper workflow. That's one limitation. The first one is expertise. They do not have expertise to build these kind of things. Third one is architecture. The architectures are, I would say, caricature in most of the organizations. One team, they think this way, the other team thinks other way. Okay, we will build cloud, then on-premise. We need to have both. Cloud doesn't talk to on-premise. On-premise have different servers. So complexities are there. Till that time, all those 3 things are sorted, the jobs are safe. Once those 3 things are done, then of course, job displacement will happen. And people who know how to build this, they are going to replace the people who don't know. People who know, they will replace people who don't know. So learn those skills as quick as possible.
One more thing, like maximum like day-to-day people are doing repeated work, right? That is one of the area which I see agentic AI most effective, right? Because
Exactly. So you have to identify the business processes where agentic AI can be implemented. I'll give you a very simple example. When you go to the hospitals, right? Like you have an insurance desk, right? And we go frequently to check the insurance, check with the person sitting in the insurance desk, whether my claim is processed or not. What is the status of my claim, right? Now think about his or her job. That person is opening 27 browsers because there are 27 insurance companies. 27 browsers. Each browser has a separate login ID and password for her only on 27 browsers. The person will first ask you, what's your name? What's the patient name? Then you look at the insurance company. Then you find your login ID password. You log in because inactivity it will log you out, right? So you log in. Then you copy the claim number, put it there. Oh, your Aadhaar card is missing. I come from the different block to the insurance desk, and you are telling me now that an Aadhaar card is missing, and my patient is 2 days hospitalized. Right? Now imagine this person's job. Can you automate using agentic AI? Yes, we can do that. During the upload stage itself, you just ask, these are the 7 things required. This is missing. Do a quickly WhatsApp integration. Send the message to the mobile number given. Aadhaar card missing. At the time of upload itself, you resolve it. This is just one example. Similarly, there are multiple such examples in various business processes where you can find opportunities and where you can integrate this agentic workflow to automate stuff.
And now also I still see people are creating a dependency which they are doing really similar tasks which can be done within few seconds. And they are creating a dependency which taking, I think, right now I come to know one incident, like client is telling like it is taking 1 week or 2 weeks to get some parameter to deploy in mainframe. Okay. So that is they are creating a dependency which I have proposed them agentic AI.
You can automate that.
Yes, that's what I proposed. So that can be solved within a second.
Right.
That is one of the use cases.
Right. So second important point here is the human-machine collaboration. Machine-to-machine interaction, you can directly automate using agentic AI. But if a human being is involved there, then there is a dependency we are creating. Now, how to remove that dependency, how to work with a machine, and how to create those collaborative scenario. That's why this MCP is coming up now. multi-agent collaboration platform, then a multi-context platform is something which is coming up next as part of the extension to Agentic AI, which will take care of the human-machine collaborations, and within this or any business scenario, how this human-machine can interact to improve the business outcomes. The third point here is the demand for upskilling and reskilling. And I think continuously we have to upskill and reskill ourselves to stay ahead of the curve. And like this is a need of the hour. Every day something new is coming. And mostly if you are good at Python, if you don't know coding also, you can still learn and master coding. And 30 days or 60 days is good enough. After that, it is just asking ChatGPT getting the code. You don't have to think logically. Basics of coding, if you know, after that, it is just using large language models, ChatGPT or any other Gemini or any other tool that you like. And the projected growth is a hybrid workforce where each developer would be 2x and 5x, as I said before, because this is something which is going to come in future. So in the pursuit of this artificial general intelligence, if we look at, this is the funnel that I'm thinking of. One is exploring the conceptual and technological overlap between the agentic AI and artificial general intelligence. That's very far, but I don't think humans can be completely moved out of this loop. Humans will definitely be in this loop as well. But this is the funnel that I think about. And regulatory, again, as usual, regulatory framework is already there. We have to satisfy all the GDPR, CCPA, GDPR, and in India, we have DPDP. So we have to comply with all those regulations. And those regulations restrict mostly the usage of AI tools if it is not ethical, if it is not biased, right? If it is not biased, they will kill the tool itself. You create a tool, they will block it immediately. So you have to think those regulatory frameworks as well, and especially the industries like banking, insurance. These are called regulatory industries, which is regulated by certain frameworks and guidelines, and we have to adhere to it. This is the human agentic collaboration journey, I would say, or the path that we can think about. Both human and machine collaboration should happen, and how this collaboration happens, it is like streamlining the business processes, finding workflows, or you can say technical steps that need to be defined, that need to be given to this agentic frameworks. And you can create a proper workflow, how to complete a particular task in a business scenario. These are the next generation pioneers in agentic AI. These are not very popular figures because they do not share a lot of content on LinkedIn. Because LinkedIn, like people having 500,000 followers, 200,000 followers, you will find they have hardly worked for 2 years or 3 years in any company, because these are influencers, right? And these are real influencers because they have created. If you look at Dr. Aki Tanaka, his contribution to Crew.ai was significant. So most of the agentic frameworks are being driven by these 5 pioneers, I would say, and you have not heard their name on LinkedIn, I'm sure. Okay, now coming back to the potential versus challenges. Definitely challenges are there because, as I said, because of 3 reasons: lack of expertise, not streamlined business processes, and there is a little bit of learning curve there as well. So these definitely the agentic AI is going to help us in increasing productivity, improving the decision-making accuracy and speed. Ethical consideration, that is still not clear. We have to again see how this is shaping up, these regulatory frameworks. Deployment challenges are there. Definitely it is there. When you are dependent on third-party API, your call is going out, your documents are going out, then that's a challenge. So something will come, but a lot of work is also happening from deployment side as well. So with this, we can conclude the session. Any questions? I would be happy to take it up.
I have time for one question. Very interesting, right? The area, you must ask question at least.
What about the security? See, security is right. How secure it is? Security from what perspective? Is it like security from data privacy side? These, to be very honest, then nothing is secure nowadays. As long as you are giving away your data, there is nothing secure. That's
Giving away data is different. Installing the
if you are not communicating externally, then your data is secure. For example, you can use Olama 2 and Olama 3. This is on premise. You install it, turn off your internet, start working with the tool itself. No problem. The moment you have these API keys, OpenAI API key or Mistral or API key, and you are uploading a document, it is communicating over internet externally, then that's a problem. Because you never know where the data is going. Learning is there. So I'll give you a prompt. You ask ChatGPT. So you say like this, based on my interaction since last 1 year, what information that you know about me that I don't know? To ask ChatGPT. You'll be surprised by the results. Just look at what ChatGPT is giving you. Just ask this. Based on my interaction with this tool, last 1 year, what information that you know that I don't know?
In this book, how AI will be taken into AI we can utilize in multiple terms. Silence security, how can you define this? Which are organized?
Intrusion detection system, network vulnerabilities, penetration testing, software vulnerabilities. Right? These are some of the use cases. Like if you look at, there is a portal called secrepo.com. There are some around 300 GB of security data with respect to different things like malware detection, phishing URL detection, IDS, then network vulnerability, network optimizations, network failures, device failures in a network. These are so many things where you can introduce AI to predict before that happens.
Software like LLM using like the difference. Which one do you need to take up?
You have a module. You have a module called security AI module. Yes. So in your course, security module is there.
Because it's part A, in this course is a part of another area of it. There is something A. So any difference is it for that?
You will be, yes, you will be learning AI for security in that module.
That is
That is enough.
Question. So it's a very powerful tool. A very powerful tool in the hands of a wrong person
Everyone, please.
can be very
Dangerous.
very dangerous.
Yes.
So what's the legal and legal angle to the whole thing? We just creating like the way you create a gun. Gun is used for protection, is what the American Constitution says. It's also used for killing innocent people. Just the same way, this could be also dangerous.
It is going to be dangerous. And
What is the legal framework that we have put in place? We are starting to think about a legal framework to ensure that this is not misused. But there is a
right,
accountability in terms of
right.
misuse.
So at a world stage recently, the group of the world leaders, they met, they discussed for 2 days. They could not agree on a consensus that what laws we should be having. There's 2 countries, they are separate from the rest of the countries. And they said, we are not going to sign. The first condition was like, we will not be using AI for arms and ammunition development. And those 2 countries, they did not sign the agreement. And that's how the discussion failed.
That is a much larger thing.
That's a much larger thing, correct?
Much larger thing. I'm worried about saying a video, is it generated using AI or is it really people?
Right.
Trust it.
Right. So that to some extent, Perplexity has solved it because they give you the sources where this image was uploaded and how, like, what are the different sources it took the reference to create this image. So you can find that since the reference is there, and also ChatGPT gives you CR. A blob is there on the image, CR. You can notice like a lot of posts you can see on LinkedIn. Top left corner, if you find CR in a white blob, then it's computer generated. That's how some kind of tagging they're doing just to be like safe. At least people should be knowing that, okay, this is computer generated. So we can differentiate that way. But if you download that image as an image, that CR is lost. If you're directly taking the image and uploading, it recognizes. The moment you save it on your device, the tagging is lost. Then you upload it, it looks like your image. So it's difficult, that area. But yes, some legal frameworks, there is a discussion happening and people are working on it.
The phone listening, whatever we are talking.
Yes, it does.
That is dangerous.
That is dangerous. Yes.
Privacy, like something, or security.
Nokia 3310. That's the answer. Yes.
There is Ubuntu Touch, which is open source thing. At least we know what code is there.
It is smartphone, right? Smartness is listening everything, right?
That is not.
No, we are using smartphone, right?
So search, show you stuff.
So there are so many, if you see today, there are so many AI tools which are we've been using for the last 1 year. So is there a way to know what kind of AI is used by looking into that piece of?
No. Because they will not unbox it for you.
No, but
How they have done it, they will not
no,
unbox
they
it.
will not unbox, but at least somehow how it generates or based on what input.
That's their secret sauce. If they give it to you, then their product is of no use. You can build it, right? So why would they give this?
Something.
No, there is no way.
Take one more question.
Cybersecurity? Yes. This agentic AI is again going to replace the incident responses. So manual intervention in incidents response can be completely taken over by agentic AI. So doing automatic grading of incidents, level 1, level 2, level 3. At least level 1 will be straight away taken care by agentic AI. You don't need human beings. Level 2 with some logic will be taken care by agentic AI. The rest 10% is only level 3. 90% of your workflow in incident response will be taken over by agentic AI. No, these frameworks are there. If you build a tool, then you will lead the market.
Cybersecurity, so having the AI knowledge is going.
It is absolutely needed now.
How AI is.
There is nothing that AI can do without.
So only the decision making predictions beforehand. So if you predict this website is malicious, right? And if you can predict, okay, this kind of network is compromised. So you can block it, you can isolate. But the prediction has to happen. It's not like a post hoc analysis I have to do to figure out what happened. It has to be predictive. People have already implemented a lot of things. So recently Cisco has displayed how in GTC North America. So recently NVIDIA conference happened. They had a kiosk. They were showing like almost all the agents are taking care of incident response, IDS, network vulnerability, software testing, penetration testing. Everything is taken care of by agents. Yes. It's all about the models. The models are going to play these rules instead of these rules. So rules will go away because rules are static. Models are dynamic.